Well, I think it's important for the taxpayers to know just what the state DOT is doing with the new gas tax money, as well as all the other funds that the agency is entrusted with.
Is the gas tax money doing what we hoped it would do? Is it we moving towards what we were hoping for?
Yeah, the revenues are coming in exactly as projected, so no shortfalls with those. And we've basically moved forward with the plan that we laid out prior to the passage of the new gas tax. So we're moving forward with paving projects, bridge replacement projects, rural road safety projects, as well as some interstate widening projects. So our priorities haven't changed. We're just moving forward and able to finally get moving on some much needed projects.
Is it difficult to determine where the money goes? I mean, just in general, not just the new gas tax money, but all of it, how to determine where the greatest needs are. Because I know you've been in the upstate, you worked here for a long time, and the growth's phenomenal here. And in years gone by, I mean, if you went back a number of years, everybody was always carrying on because the coast seemed to be getting all the money. And as Greenville, Anderson, the whole area grew, it felt to the people, whether it's actual or not, it felt like the coast was getting all this money. And yet, if you've driven from Anderson to Greenville, you see the roads are not keeping up with the growth.
Well, now all the Charleston people are complaining that Anderson and Greenville and Spartanburg is getting all the money. But really the issue that you're trying to get at is priorities and how do you establish those priorities. And the DOT actually follows an objective analytical process for determining which projects are picked. And that was put into place by the state lawmakers many years ago. And of course, we still follow that process even with the new money. So the new money didn't change our processes. All it did was enable us to grow our existing planned programs. So it really means more resurfacing projects, more paving projects, more bridge projects, more interstate widening projects, and actually the creation of a safety program designed to target some of our rural areas of the state, much like here in the Anderson area.
And before this money from the gas tax came in, we were pretty limited where our funding came from and what we could do, right?
Yeah, well, the DOT was trying to live on a 1987 salary for all practical purposes. And even though the state gas tax was set at 16 cents a gallon all in prior to the recent increase, the buying power of that was roughly about a nickel. When you really get down to what can I buy in today's dollars versus 1987 dollars, we were trying to get by on a nickel. And it's really difficult to do, just like, if you're building a house or even buying a car. Things are so much more expensive these days as opposed to, say, 30 years ago. So we're very grateful for the increase, very mindful of the incredible responsibility that we have to the taxpayers to make sure we're putting it on good projects and getting that work done.
You have a background in this in a number of different places. How do you think, being an engineer and understanding the finance and all, what does that experience help you as you bring into your current position?
Well, obviously I think it serves me well, but it's really not about me. It's about the agency and about the team that we've created within the DOT, this new leadership team that we have in place. We went from basic folks that were brought in that had no experience per se in the day-to-day operations and didn't really speak the language of the DOT, to a team that led by myself and some other deputies that understand the language. We know which rocks to turn over. We know which cultural issues need to be addressed. And so we've moved forward. I've been secretary permanently for about 2 years now, and we've made a lot of changes at the agency. But it's beside the cultural issues. It's understanding how to understand what the strategic priorities should be, what the state of the system is. Obviously, working at the DOT for more than 2 decades, I'm very much aware of the condition of the roads in our urban areas and rural areas. I worked this region for a long time in my career, worked up this way for about 10 years, enjoyed every minute of it. I'm from this area, very familiar with this community, and I understand the unique needs of this area versus, say, downtown Columbia. But that diverse background basically enables me to understand and appreciate the system, the needs of the system, and what we can do not only to move the needle in the right direction on recovery of the system, but how to organizationally get us there in the best way possible.
And I know you're going to cover this when you speak in a minute, but is there like a 10-cent version of what's next? Where we're headed with roads in the state?
Well, you know, it took 3 decades for the system to get in the condition that it is. So and our system is in very poor condition overall when I look at it statewide. Thanks to the new gas tax, I would very glad to report that we've made remarkable progress just in our first year. We had laid out a 10-year plan for recovery of the system, and our first year results are in, and we had a record-breaking year. So we've tripled our workload as far as work out on the street. You can see it everywhere you drive in the state. You can see new paving projects going on, interstate widening, especially up here on the 85 corridor in the upstate. It's hard to imagine just a few years ago the concept of having 85 widened almost border to border. And that's going to become reality for this area, thanks to new gas tax and some other funding. So it's just an incredible opportunity to make a difference in the lives of the citizens of the state, and I look forward to being a part of it.
That's perfect. That's all I need.